is Dave Tate with a Table Talk, but not really Table Talk, but kind of a Table Talk for now. What I wanted to do was to take a minute and talk about things that you can do training-wise that's a little bit above just a lot of the maintenance workouts that everybody's been doing. The maintenance workouts are great. Keep doing those. I'm not telling you to not do that. What I want to give you is a few things that you can do to put with those maintenance workouts that are going to actually help you to progress forward instead of just maintaining. And without laying out a whole entire program, I'm just going to give you 3 different exercises that you can do, that you can progress on, that will have correspondence to dynamic correspondence, or it's going to have a positive carryover to your main lifts. So the first one I'm going to lay out is it's your basic push-up. Everybody's been doing, a shit ton of push-ups. So with that, I'm going to lay all these out over 4 sessions. So these sessions can either be once a week for 4 weeks, or it can be twice a week for 2 weeks. So it doesn't really matter, because every one of these sessions are kind of what I would consider extra workouts that somebody would do. So if you're doing an extra workout in a normal programming standpoint, they could be, as I just described, once a week for 4 weeks, or every other day, or however you want to do it, doesn't really matter. The key thing with these things are they're easy to recover from, and they're going to help to advance and move you forward. So with the push-ups, and I got warm-up sets that are, you can do whatever you want for the warm-up sets based upon where your own progression and your own strength is. So on session 1, you're going to do 1 to 3 sets of 5, just working up. You're not really working up, you're just warming up. And then on the last set, just do a max number of repetitions you can do. That's it. Push-ups are done for that session. Next session, you come back for push-ups. You're going to do the same thing again. You're going to work up. You're going to do 3 or 4 sets of 5 as far as a warm-up. And then on the last set, you're going to use a band. And with the band, I want a heavy band. I want a strong band. I want the strongest band that you can use for 5 reps. So if you don't have one of our strong bands and you got 3 or 4 mini bands, use all the mini bands, or use a light band in a mini band, or 2 light bands, or an average band in a mini band. Doesn't matter. Just figure out what's hard for you to do for, let's say 8 reps, 10 reps, something like that. And if you don't have anything to be able to do that, just bring this tempo down. So 5 or 6 reps is going to be hard to do. There, I want you to do 5 sets of 5 with whatever that band is. Don't change the band tension. If it's too hard to do, then press faster. If it's too easy, use a slower tempo. But I want the 5 sets of 5. And then on the last set, on the set after that, so you got 5 work sets. Set after that, get rid of the band and just do a set of push-ups to failure again. The third session, same thing. You're going to warm up again, and you're going to do the 5 sets of 5 again with either more band tension or the same band tension if it was really hard to do the time before. And then what you're going to do on this one is immediately after your last set of 5 with the band, you're going to throw the band off, and then you're going to do a max set to failure immediately after. In the 4th session, it's going to be, I call it it's going to be an open chain. So instead of doing the push-ups on the floor, you're going to lean against the wall and brace your shoulder blades against the wall, and then just push the band outward so your hands are not connected to the floor. So it's more of an open chain. You're not going to have warm-up reps on that, because you're just going to go straight into the band and do 5 sets of 5 there with the same band that you were using on the last session. And then on the 6th set, do as many reps as you can. That would be for the push-ups. Some things with doing push-ups with bands that a lot of people screw up and forget. Always cross the bands over. So you're going to make a figure 8 of it, then throw it behind your back. That's going to keep the band from spreading out across your back, popping over your elbows, and all the other stuff. It's going to make it easier to keep the tension where it needs to be. The second exercise is going to be good mornings. This is going to be a little easier than what I laid out for the push-ups. With the good morning, it's just first session. You're gonna put the band. You're gonna stand on the band, put the band around your traps. You don't want it directly on your neck. You're gonna bring it lower, so it's still on your neck, obviously, but it's gonna be more on the traps. Keeping it there. First session, you're gonna do 30 reps. I don't care how you do it. I don't care if it's sets of 5, sets of 10, or a set of 30. I don't care. You might get dizzy doing a set of 30, but I don't really care how it is. The second session, you're gonna do 40 reps. The third session, you're gonna do 60, and then the fourth session, you will do 80. So it's a very simple progression with that. The last exercise I have for you is just gonna be a tricep band push down. So I don't care how you attach the band, where you attach the band. It can be around a door, you can slip knot it over anything. There's a million ways to be able to attach a band, from anything that's high up. Just don't put it on something that's gonna break and fall on your head, obviously. This, again, I'm gonna have you start a little higher on the reps with this one. Session 1 will be 60, session 2 will be 80, session 3 will be 100, and then session 4 is gonna be a little different because we're gonna break it down and we're going to slow the tempo way down. So on this one, you're only gonna do 3 sets of 5, but you're gonna take 10 seconds on the eccentric, just a couple seconds on the midpoint where the contraction, and then 10 seconds on the concentric. So roughly you're gonna be looking at about 25 seconds, maybe 30 seconds for each repetition, and that adds up over 5 repetitions. So with that, you're gonna do 3 sets of 5. So that's 3 exercises, guys, that you can actually progress on a little bit. These are exercises that I would actually put in somebody's training program to help bring up weak points that are associated with these things, as an extra workout or at the end of a training session and so forth. And they always have a correspondence to the lifts, and I'm sure, positive, and know for a fact, they're gonna have a correspondence to what you're doing now. And I know a lot of you guys are stuck and all you're doing is maintaining type things, and that's fine if this whole quarantine thing was just 2 weeks or 3 weeks, but I think everybody's starting to realize now this could be, it could reach into 2 months, maybe even more. So you need to start thinking a little bit about how you're gonna make gains and how you're gonna progress during this time off. Some won't be able to, and I'll make another video about that later, how to come back from long times off training. But I wanted to put this one out there first, just to throw stuff out so people have something they can do immediately before I start talking about how to lay out a training program and then how to deal with being off for 2-3 months if need be, and then how to come back from that. So I hope you guys like this. Let us know in the comments below if you want to see more of this. Make sure to subscribe and turn the notifications on. We're trying to put more content out, and you got to realize that with the content that we're putting out right now, we're doing a lot of vetting. So if it's not getting the hits and it's not getting the views that our normal content has, we're not going to do it again. That's why we're not going to do the technique teardown. We're not going to do those anymore because you guys didn't like them. So if it's not something that you guys like, then I'd rather do things that you will. So that's kind of what it is. It's not that we're not going to do things because we don't like doing it. I'll do whatever you guys want. It's just the only way that we know that, unfortunately, is by the views and I suppose comments, but I don't read them, but Josh does, but I don't. So that will help too, because if we get a lot of comments saying, look, we really like the technique teardown, keep doing it, then I'll do it. Because if there's 50 or 100 people that are getting a lot out of it, then it's worth our time to do. Then I don't have to directly go on the views, because seriously, I don't really give a fuck about the views. I care more about people progressing off the content that we're putting out. Other than that, guys, thank you, and until next time.